when we're doing our stuff with our feet, but generally when we're doing any of the stuff with our body. Do the stuff that feels good, skip the stuff that doesn't, or do a reasonable version so that it feels just right and beneficial. We don't come to these classes to punish ourselves. We come to these classes to make things feel good and better. All right, so not even getting cozy in the seat. Just find a nice upright seat, but nice and solid in the chair, feet nice and solid on the ground. Let your eyes close down just for a moment. Let your shoulders soften just a little bit away from your ears. Take a nice generous breath in and a slow exhalation. If you can arrange it, you'll keep your eyes closed for just a moment, and all you're going to do is wiggle your toes. And there's no right or wrong about how you wiggle your toes. It's more about just like tuning into your proprioception. Where are your toes connected to your head and your mind? Can you get your toes to wiggle with your eyes closed? As you wiggle your toes, notice right away, do you pick up any tension in your jaw? See if you can encourage a little softness into your jaw. A slower, deeper breath in through your nose. A slower, slower, slower exhalation out through your nose. All right, and then let your toes come to a little bit of stillness, eyes open. As you inhale, lift your chin gently up towards the sky, just a little bit. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin down towards your chest, but just a little bit. Not looking for full range of motion, just looking for soft range of motion. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. Last one like that. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. Slide your hands forward, catch hold of your knees. Move it into cat-cow. As you inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. And as you exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck chin to chest. Two more like that. Go for like soft, looking for a little touch of range of motion, waking up the spine, waking up the nervous system. Inhale as you lift your heart. Exhale as you round your back. Adding just that little bit of fluid movement into the spine. And then the next three will add that little bit of the idea of pandiculation. So on your next inhalation, think yawning, stiffening stretch. You're going to stretch a little bit extra from the sternum to the chin. And then as you exhale, you're going to round your back and put a little something into it. Get that space into the shoulder blades, the space between the curves of the spine. And then as you inhale, lift your chest, stretch maybe from the belly to the sternum to the chin. And then as you exhale, find that yawning stretch, round your back, get a little space into the cervical spine. One more time, just like that. Inhale, stretch. Try to stretch all the way from the front pockets of the jeans all the way up to your chin. And then as you exhale, round your back, round your low back, your thoracic spine, cervical spine. Take that yawn and stretch through your whole back body. And then release, come up to a nice neutral spine, basket weave, catch hold of one leg, pick it up, and just circle your foot. And then circle your foot the other way. Nice. And then when you're ready, set that foot down, basket weave, pick up your other leg, circle your foot. And then here, I'd just like to take the time to notice, does one foot or ankle feel a little different from the other? Like my left side always has a little clickiness in the ankle, and just kind of noticing, does anything feel tight or tense or stiff or sticky? And then when you're ready, take it in reverse, go the other way. All right, one more moment there. And then set your foot down, two fists between the knees. So that's just going to be a little space saver. And then we're rolling. So we're rolling out onto the blade edge of the foot, but we're going to try to keep this connection point here. So the knees aren't going to move or wiggle. You're rolling out to the blade edge, hold in that lifted position just for a second, and then roll back in, roll out to the blade edge, roll back in, roll out to the blade edge, roll back in. Two more just like that. Roll out, roll in, roll out, roll in. Nice. All right, now grab your yoga block. yoga block, for me, tall setting is the best one, but you might be a little shorter, a little bit taller, so you're going to adjust it so it feels good. Yoga block on the tall setting, you're going to hop 1 foot up and we're going to uncurl the toes. So you're just going to use your hands. So get comfy. There's no right or wrong about the upper body. Get comfy so you can get a little handhold. And all you're going to do is reach under the toes and pull the pads of the toes forward. And you're just going to go slow and soft and mindful as you go. Uncurling the toes, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, all the toes that you can. You're just going to gently press into the pads of the toes and pull forward. And we just want to think like we're warming up. Think of our fascia. So if you have your fascia and you gummy your fascia or treat it softly and warmly, it moves. Think of it like it's kind of have a wateriness to it. But if you just slam against it, it just kind of like it takes all that heat and shocks and absorbs away. So soft, like you're trying to just gently move or pull the waters underneath your toes. And then give a little extra time, like say the pinky, for me, like my pinky toe, that's the guy that's like the most curled up. So pinky toe is going to get my little bit of extra attention. And then if the toes have a tendency to kind of get really tight into each other side by side, as you uncurl them, just give them a little space, pull them just a little bit apart away from their neighbor. All right, now the next bit we're going to do, you'll adjust your foot so it's comfortable on the block. You're going to grab, for me, it's opposite hands that's going to do the work, but you're going to grab your big toe. You're going to try to pull it forward. So you're going to think a little bit of forward pull traction, and then you're going to make little circles. And then if it helps, brace your ankle, hold on firm, pull the big toe away from the heel, and then you just pull and circle. But be mindful, go where it feels good. If you have a tight big toe, give it a little bit of time, a little gentleness, soft breath. And then if you're circling in one particular direction, maybe you reverse it, go the other way. All right, one more moment there. And then the foot's going to shift forward just a touch so that you can grab the ball toe mound. So you're going to think big toe ball mound, pinky toe ball mound. You're going to pull apart. So you're pulling a spread into that ball toe mound and then give the foot just a little wave wiggle. So big toe up and then small toe up. Everything I'm saying, if the language doesn't perfectly land, don't worry. There's no right or wrong as long as you don't hurt your foot. Awesome. Take one more breath there. And then we're going to come up and away. Now you're going to use your block. I would still say yoga block on tall setting. I'm going to spin sideways just to make sure that you can see. We're going to put all 5 toes that we can into extension, but you might start with a sort of dorsiflexion to get the toes up against the block. And then you'll slowly slide the ball of the foot down so you can get all the toes into extension best you can. Everybody's foot's going to look a little different here. So get your toes into extension. Hold the block with a little bit of firmness. And then if you can get a little bit of wiggly movement, again, everybody's foot will work a little different here. You're going to do that little tiny walk of the heel. So the heel's going to lift up just a touch. Maybe it's a centimeter. Maybe it's an inch or two. Everybody's extension in the toes and the tightness in the plantar fascial will be a little different. So think like you're working with the wateriness of your body. You're holding those toes in that little bit of a tight position and then moving the bottom of the foot. But then notice as you go, are you holding any tension in your jaw? Can you soften your jaw? Excellent. Take one more moment there and then move the block a little bit away from your toes. Let your toes float down. Give your toes a little twinkle. And then just for a moment, notice. Notice how one foot might feel just a little different from the other. All right, now we're going to take it over to the other foot. So reset your block so it's in that nice tall setting. Get your foot up there and we're back to uncurling the toes. So whatever handhold works good on this side, we're just working into the wateriness of the toes. So give it time. Gently pull the pads of the toes forward, like you're just trying to stretch out the bottoms of the toes. Notice your breath. So each foot might have just a slightly different history. So we're going to listen into this foot and ask it how it's feeling. And then we use that barometer as the breath is our barometer. So are you holding your breath? Are you laboring in your breath? Or can you get a nice smooth breath coming in and out through your nose? And now as you walk along and you're getting a little stretch into the underneath of the toes, give them a little spread away from their neighbors. All right, take one more moment there. And then when you're ready for it, big toe, pulling forward and making the circle. So you're going to grab hold of that big toe with whatever hand works good for you. Pull it forward like you're getting a little traction. That's a little bit of that bony stimulus into the joints of the big toe. And then that circular action to create a little bit of lubrication into those joints. All right, take one more moment there. And then just that little shift forward with the foot so that the ball toe mound is off. And then we grab big toe ball mound, pinky toe ball mound. We pull apart so we get that little bit of spread. And then we wiggle the foot. Take one more moment there. And then when you're ready, we're taking it down to toes and extensions. You're going to reset your block in a way that makes good sense. You're going to get your toes, possibly your foot comes into a dorsiflex position, and then you slide the foot down. So you want to hold that block in place so it's a little bit firm. Get your toes or the pads of your toes onto the block and then slide your foot down. Get the toes into extension just as much as they can be. One foot might be different from the other. And then you're just going to hold steady for a moment. Notice your breath. And then if you can add that little bit of that heel walk, you're going to start to keep your toes in extension, lift your heel a little bit up and down. Excellent. Take one more moment there. And then when you're ready, slowly release. Get your block away from your toes. Give your toes a little twinkle. Give your feet a little wiggle. Give your hands a little twinkle because they were doing a little bit of work for you there. All right, now we're going to make our way up to a standing position. So give your legs a little windshield wiper, prep them, get them ready to go. And then we're going to work our way to standing position to the tall side of the chair. And we want our theraband, our long resistance band. So come on up and around, get yourself arranged in a way that makes good sense. And then once you've got your way there, just a touch of a setup just so that we get some good tension on the band. So we're going to take a second to just get ourselves where we want to be. So when we get into it, the foot will be into the loop of your stretchy resistance band. And then you're going to choke up a bunch on that band. And then you're going to hold on firm to the tall side of the chair. We want a nice active back body. So we're not going to like get loose and noodly in the upper part. So we're slightly hinged forward. One leg is sturdy on the ground. Then you're going to pick up that band and make sure it's got a little bit of tension, and we're going to push back. So we're staying in that slight forward lean. Your standing leg is giving you stability. The chair is giving you a place to hold on. So now you kind of got an idea of where you're going. Readjust along the way so that it feels good, like you're getting a little bit of work coming into the back of your leg. Notice your breath. Go for about 3 more on this side if you can. Now we're going to attempt to keep our hand hold. Step your foot down into the ground. Step your other foot carefully into the loop. Hold it down. Release your other foot. Adjust so you're in that strong, sturdy position again. And then we find that little bit of tension and the press back. And then you make little micro adjusts along the way so that it feels that you will feel a little bit of work in your grip though, because you're still holding that band in place. So there's a little active upper body so we stay sturdy and stable. And then you just want to feel like some muscly work is coming from the back of your leg. Awesome. Go for about 2 more if you can. Excellent. And then slowly step it in. Carefully release your hands from the band so you can release your foot in a safe and careful way. Take a second, twinkle out your fingers, toss that band off to the side because we're done with it now. All right, now find the tall standing position at the tall side of your chair. Nice upright spine, gaze forward, eyes on the horizon, little heel raises. Lift your heels comfortably away from the ground. Go for height that feels good. And then slowly exhale, heels come back down. Lift your heels up. Slowly release. Lift your heels up. Slowly release. Go for about 3 more if you can. Just looking for a little bit of warmth in the calf muscles, not looking for fatigue. All right, once you've done about 3 more, now we're going to take it into our Achilles lunge. So you're going to step your foot back. So you're in a staggered lunge position, but we want that back heel to stay a little bit connected to the ground. Once you feel that heel connection, hips forward, heart forward, gaze forward, back knee does a little bend and straighten. When we do this Achilles lunge, when we do that little bend and straighten, it just slightly shifts where we're feeling that little bit of tension. So we'll feel it, for me, bent position, Achilles tendon, lengthened out position into the calf. Excellent. Take 1 more bend and straighten there, and then hop that foot in, switch it to the other side. Find your staggered lunge. So we want just a short enough lunge that that back heel can connect to the ground. And then we take it for a little bit of work. Bend and straighten the back leg. I said we were done with our theraband, but I was wrong. I'm looking at my class plan and I'm saying, we got to do toe extension work in standing. So you'll have to pick it back up. All right, take 1 more second there. And now we're going to walk it back to a little down dog. So hands to the tall side of the chair, walk your butt back. Take a nice lengthy stretch. Think more stretch into the upper body if you can. Let your arms have a little space. Let your armpit chest get a little bit heavy. Let your head soften between the space of your arms and take a nice big breath. All right, when you're ready, bend your knees, push strong into your feet, lift yourself back up, slow return. Now, re-grab your theraband. My bad. We're going to place it for that long foot position. So you're going to take your theraband and get it so that it can be under 1 foot, but long ways. So you're going to put your foot long ways onto the band, and then you're going to pull it up, pull it up, pull it up so that you get your toes coming up into extension, and there's that nice lift in the toes. And then once you've got that nice lift in the toes, your toes are doing the work. Press that band down towards the ground. And you don't let the band snap your toes back up. So you go up and down with a nice slow control. And if it helps you find it, you look right down at those feet so that you get some nice good work going on. And then once you can feel like you're getting all the toes to press down and come up with good control. Then maybe eyes on the horizon, and then possibly ears, shoulders, hips, and heel in line. And then we check in and make sure we're not holding too much tension in our jaw. All right, go for 3 more if you can. Nice. Okay, loosen up that stretch on the band so that we release with good control, carefully, so we don't snap ourselves in the face. And then set yourself up to the other side. Long band, step your foot on, and then we pull it up, pull it up, pull it up. So we get the toes up into extension. There's your tension. And then you keep that bit of tension and your toes do the work. Press down and come up, but we don't let the band snap us up. We let the toes come up with strong control, or resistance in both directions. Beautiful. Take one more moment there. And then when you feel ready for it, slow, careful release so that the band doesn't snap out from underneath your foot. Release it. Now set your band off to the side. But we're coming back to a seated position. So as you come around, just let your feet feel like they walk naturally on the ground. So you're just going to bring yourself around to your seat. Nice upright seat. Now we're going to do a little bit of something for the vagus nerve. So that wandering nerve that goes from the base of the skull down to the pelvic floor wanders through the neck, the throat, the heart, the lungs, the digestive organs. So we're just going to give a little soothing to the front of the neck and the throat. You're going to use the pads of your fingers and you're going to glide and turn. So you're going to come slightly off sides of your larynx. You're going to push, glide, and turn. So as you push and glide your fingers towards your ear, you turn your head and drag down the side of your neck, and then we come back in. Push, glide, turn your head, drag down the side of your neck, behind the ear, and then just do a couple more on this side. We push, we turn the head as you glide, take it down. And this is a nice slow, so think it's a little bit of a smush of the skin and connective tissue, but since it's such a delicate area, there's sort of a lightness to it. Let your breath come in and out through your nose. If you feel cool about making the little humming sound on your last one on this side, you're going to inhale through your nose, and then as you exhale, turn and hum. And then when you're ready, take it over to the other side. Pads of the fingers. We push, smush, turn the head, drag down the side of the neck. And then just take a few goes. And then just, you find that smooth softness where you can put a tender pressure. So you feel like you're gently stimulating the skin and connective tissue. All right, now on this last one, if you feel like a little hum goes a long way, when you take your inhale, head is forward, and then as you exhale, hum, turn your head, drag your fingers. Right down the side of your neck, and then release. Now take it right into some shoulder rolls. Roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down, and back. And then take those shoulder rolls in reverse, go the other way. Beautiful. Now shoulders down and back, take it into a seated twist. Rotate to one side. Find a little bit of gentle engagement in this twist. So think, rather than like deeply softening into it, find that like nice happy balance of effort and ease. So maybe there's like a little bit of an uprightness in your spine. There's a little bit of effort in the twist, and then some place that there's a little softness. Maybe your shoulders are a little soft. Maybe your jaw is a little soft. Maybe your armpits are a little soft. On your next inhale, return through center. And then as you exhale, twist to the other side. Same thing here. See if you can find this nice happy balance of something that has a little effort. So maybe that's like that upright spine. And then maybe someplace that has that little bit of softness. So maybe it's soft shoulders, soft jaw, soft armpits. On your next inhale, return to center and then walk your feet out just a little bit wide. We're going to go elbow to a knee, arms going to reach up and over, but we're going to flip the palm. So palms a little bit facing up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to add that nice pandiculation or good morning stretch. So as you inhale, you're going to push into your palm, reach and lengthen through your side, and then exhale, soften just a little bit, and then do it again. Inhale, pandiculate, push through your palm, stretch out through your side. Think yawning stretch, and then exhale takes you a little softer, but now we're going to push forward. So think a little round and reach, push your palm, round and reach forward, like you're getting that yawn all the way down the back side of the ribs, maybe down towards the low back, and then exhale takes you into a softness, and we flip it up and over to the other side. Elbow to the knee, light side bend, palm facing up, and then we pandiculate. You inhale, yawn and stiffen and stretch. And then the exhale takes you into a little softness. And then do it again. Inhale, yawn and stiffen and stretch. Exhale, find that little bit of softness, and now take it for that round and reach. Palm stays facing forward, but push out through your palm down into the back of the rib cage, down towards the low back. Inhale takes you into that stiff and stretch. And then exhale to soften, come back up. Now walk your feet in just a touch, but still keep a little bit of width. Thread the needle. Left hand's going to thread through the right hand, and you're going to go ear towards your open knee. Rotate into your twist, look towards that extended hand, and take a nice big breath. Awesome. On an inhale, slowly come up, and then we'll switch the work to the other side. Hand hold at the knee, arm threads through. We go ear, shoulder towards that open knee. Little rotation, a little fold, look to the extended hand, come back to your breath. Lovely. On an inhale, come up and away. Walk your feet in so they're about hip width distance apart, butt nice and solid on the chair, feet nice and solid on the ground, seated mountain pose with a little energy into your arms. On your next inhale, arms up, look up. And as you exhale, fold towards your feet. Doesn't matter if you can touch your feet, just fold towards them. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, roll up through your spine. Pull the belly button in, roll up. Think one vertebrae at a time, rolling through that curve of your back, and then roll your shoulders around, down and back. And now we're going to go right into our sun salutation to each side. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold towards your feet. Inhale, halfway up, make a little space for yourself. Right hand to the left knee, left hand reaches back for a twist. Bring that hand back in, catch hold of your knee, go knee to chest, nose to knee. Keep knee to the chest, flex your foot, lift your chest, lift your chin. Release your foot, release your chin, float that leg back down into your mountain pose. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold toward your feet. Inhale, halfway up, make a little space for yourself. Left hand to the right knee, right hand reaches behind you for a twist. Bring that hand back in, catch hold of your knee, go knee to the chest, nose towards the knee. Keep knee to the chest, flex your foot, lift your chest, lift your chin. Excellent. Float it down nice and slow, right back into your mountain pose. One more sun salutation to each side, but slightly more quick pace. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold towards your feet. Inhale, halfway up. Right hand to the left knee, left hand reaches back for a twist. Left hand comes back in, catch hold of your knee, go knee to chest, nose to knee. Flex your foot, lift your chest, lift your chin. Release nice and slow, float right into your mountain. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half fold. Left hand to the right knee, right hand reaches back for a twist. Bring that hand back in, catch hold of your knee to chest, nose to knee. Flex your foot, lift your chest, lift your chin. Release your foot, release your chin. Take a second, set it down, walk your feet just a little bit wide. We're going to fold, I would say, if it feels nice, fold towards the medium height yoga block. So you're going to put your yoga block in front of you, a little space between your legs, enough space that you can fold, and then use that block as a little bit of support. Let your head soften down. So think of this as sort of just a gentle stretch into your low back, and breathe as if you're trying to breathe down into your low back, or breathe into the wateriness of your low back. And then while we're here in this forward position, just for a moment, give your toes a little twinkle. Give your heels a little pump, lifting up and down. All right, now my suggestion is that you will rest your feet on your yoga block. It's going to be a slight variation of a reflexive seat, and we're going to do a few rounds of bee buzzing breath. So you're going to pop your feet up if that feels comfortable, if they rest comfortably there. When we do bee buzzing breath, we close off some of our sensations. So you can close off your ears, you close off your eyes. Some folks even reduce slightly their sinuses so that it's a little bit more of an efforted breath. We inhale through the nose, and then as we exhale, we let out a nice low hum. The humming is multi-beneficial. It helps kind of quiet down the mind a little bit, especially once you close off all those other senses. It's a reduction of the monkey mind a little bit. It produces nitric oxide, so it helps support our heart and our immune system. It's good for the nervous system, so it's got a lot of good benefits. However, closing off all of those senses might feel a little bit vulnerable, so go where it feels good. So you're going to see if you can just, first things first, find a comfortable enough position. Could you lightly close off your ears? Could you lightly close off your eyes? Could you lightly press some fingers around your nostrils, and does that feel comfortable enough? Can you still breathe? You take a big in-breath through your nose. And then as you exhale, you let out a nice low hum. And then at the end of your exhalation, you inhale again through your nose. And then you exhale a nice low hum. We're going to go for about 3 more cycles of breath in through the nose. Exhale, hum. Complete your last humming exhale. And then if you closed off your eyes or if you closed off your ears, take a second to release. Keep your eyes closed down for a second if you can, just to kind of feel that sort of resonant buzz that sort of lingers. And now we're going to take our heels of our hands. We're going to go slightly in front of the big masseter at the jaw hinge. So we're going to come slightly in front, and then you're going to kind of let we'll lean forward, but you're going to let your hands kind of glide back a little bit so it feels like it pushes that muscle back a little bit towards the jaw hinge. So find a little bit slightly in front of the masseter, Heels of the hands come in. Let your head kind of sink into the scoop of your hands, pushing that muscle back so it's back towards the jaw. And then you're going to keep your lips together and smush your lips from side to side like you're trying to kiss your own cheeks. All right, take one more moment there, readjust if you need to. So if your hands slip too much, come back in, find that little happy, sweet spot. Find that sweet spot with that little gentle pressure of the heels of your hands against that masseter muscle. And now big open and close of your jaw like you're taking a big bite of a sandwich. All right, now the next time your jaw is in that open position, you're going to keep it in the open position and try to wiggle your jaw just a little side to side. One more moment there. And then slowly come up, release your hands, give your fingers just a little tap, 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 as if you're just trying to stimulate just the top surface, the skin. And then once you've tapped it just enough, slip right back into a nice, comfortable seat. Let your feet rest there if they're comfortable or adjust so it feels good. And then just allow everything to have a moment. Let the warmth come back into your cheeks. Let a softness come into your abdomen, a softness into your shoulders. Let that softness come all the way down to the wateriness of your toes. You always have the option to stay in your resting position just as long as you like. But if you feel ready to gently reawaken, see if you can send a little message down to your pinky toes. And can you just get a little wiggle into your pinky toes? And then maybe into that fourth toe right next to the pinky toe. And then get a little wiggle from third toe, fourth toe, pinky toe. And then maybe get that second toe wiggle into. And then see if you can get the big toe wiggle in and get all your toes to just give a little wiggle. And then while the toes are wiggling and twinkling, give your fingers a little twinkle and wiggle. And then maybe move your wrists, move your ankles. And then if you can, make your hands into little fists. Find your soft tissue of your belly and give it a little smush, 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 as if you're just getting it ready for a little digestive stimulation, getting ready for a little breakfast or a little bit of lunch. And then once you feel like you've smushed, smushed, smushed that front line of fascia through that, we've got a little fascia that goes right across that front line of the belly. Give it a little smush and then sit yourself up a little bit taller, feet wherever they feel the most comfortable. take a second to just shoop out your shoulders, make sure everything feels good. And then in that upright seat with one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, feet nice and solid on the ground. Feel that solid platform underneath your feet and underneath your butt. Take a nice big breath of love and gratitude for your feet, for your ankles, for your legs, for your knees, for your hips, for your butt, for your back, for your belly, for your chest, for your shoulders, your arms, your wrists, your hands, your fingers, your mind, your body. And then maybe take one last big breath of love and gratitude that you can fill up with to carry with you through the rest of your day to share with anyone else who might need it. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. You guys are amazing. Happy Wednesday.